Joining me right now, back on the show, Aiden Aguilera. He'll be fighting at Hex Fight Series 17 on October 26th. What's going on, Aiden?
Not much, man. Same old, same old. Just training, doing the same old thing, enjoying life.
I saw that you have added some things to your resume, announcer, commentator. You were at Path To Hex 6. How was that experience?
Really, really cool. I really enjoyed it. It's just an amateur show, so it's no big time thing or anything like that. But it was really fun to kind of have a look at that side of things. And it's definitely, like, especially the commentating. It's something I'd love to do later on. I know my voice is annoying, but I really enjoy doing that kind of thing. So maybe once fighting's over, pursue that a bit more.
I saw something that you posted on Facebook. I just want to read what you wrote. You said, just a friendly reminder that no matter if your team wins or loses today, you had nothing to do with it and achieved nothing. What is the meaning behind this?
Okay, so in Australia, we have a public holiday. It's kind of like the Super Bowl for Australian rules football, which is like, it's a different sport. It doesn't really exist outside of Australia. But every year people kind of, I'm trying to think how to word it. They brag about how they did it. And there's grown men running around with their sports jerseys on all night till 3 a.m. in the morning, getting drunk and abusing people that didn't win. It's like, no, you're just a fat guy that drank beer and paid for a ticket. I mean, sure, there's nothing wrong with enjoying sport, but you can't brag about something you didn't do. Like Conor McGregor fans.
Yeah, what did you think about that whole deal of, let's talk about the fight first. What did you think about the fight? Did it play out the way that you thought it would?
It played out exactly how I hoped it would. It's kind of like all logic and sense came true. It wasn't about who was the most hype or anything like that. But don't get me wrong, Conor's a fantastic fighter, very dangerous. But Khabib was supposed to win that fight, and I'm really glad that it played out the way it did.
What were your thoughts on what happened afterwards?
I didn't like Conor getting blindsided, but after watching it back, there's a few angles where it looks like he threw the first punch anyway, so it's just a bit brawl. But I thought what Khabib did was the most badass thing I've ever seen. That was the coolest way to start a fight I have ever seen. He tried to like Mario double foot stomp the guy, which was insane. Like I actually like Khabib more after it. I know it sounds crazy, but it's personal to him, and at least he backed himself and he wasn't talking. It's like when Conor went after Jose Aldo, it was all for show. When Khabib did it, it wasn't for show. He was trying to kill that guy.
If you look at the past, Khabib has been very respectful to all of his opponents. He has never, showboated on anybody except for, at anybody. So him doing this, you could kind of see that all that trash talk, attacking his religion, attacking his country, his family, was personal for him. He said it before the fight.
Exactly. And even in the lead up to the fight, he was very kind of, trying to think of the word, like, he was very, not respectful, but very professional about it all. And it just came out. And I don't think the fight was enough. I think he wanted the TKO and he didn't get the knockout he wanted. And he, kind of tapped a little quick, which, it's easy to say that, having been there. But I've been choked unconscious in a fight before, so I feel like I'm allowed to say it. He tapped a little quick. Sure, it hurt, but I think Khabib wanted to beat him up a bit more and didn't get everything out he wanted. So it's easy to criticize it from the outside looking in, but it's not just a sport. It is a sport, but it's not just a sport. There's a bit more to it.
Yeah, a lot of people are trying to mix the UFC in with martial arts and saying that this is not martial arts, but you got to look at the end of the day, the UFC is a sports promotion. It's a sports and entertainment company. It's not martial arts, and people mix that up too much, I believe.
Exactly. It's half of what we do is entertainment. You could be a fantastic straight wrestler that's just shutting everyone down, but no one wants to watch it, except for the purists and the guys that are really into martial arts. But the thing is, half the people that are crying, that kind of thing, boo the wrestlers anyway. So it's all a bit silly. It's a bit sad it played out the way it did, but I don't have a problem with what Khabib did, put it that way.
Yeah. Now let's go back to your last fight, Hex Fight Series 14. You got the armbar finish in the first round in somewhat of a grudge match with Josh Togo. Take us through the fight and the finish.
The fight played out really differently to how I thought it was going to go in my head. I thought it was going to be a bit of a war, like back and forth, because Togo's good. And we kind of moved around a bit. We had a bit of a play. He kept switching stances on me, which was frustrating because I'd worked so hard to get ready for a southpaw, and he went orthodox on me. And I went for like a weaving head kick, and he switched stances as I did it. I ended up getting my leg kicked out from underneath me. And I was in guard for almost like 3.5, 4 minutes, so almost the entire first round. I was underneath. I don't think I got hit once. Was able to tie up his arms pretty well. He was controlling very well. He was using a lot of pressure, but he wasn't able to posture up to strike because I kept attacking his arms. So I started landing elbows to the top of his head and postured up to hit back and managed to snatch his arm and get the tap at, I think, about 30 seconds left in the first round. So a bit of a weird fight. I wasn't sore, I wasn't beat up, and I didn't really get to hit him either. So I don't know. Submissions just don't do it for me like knockouts do. But yeah, I'm happy with the win.
You went for the arm bar. You got the arm bar on your second try.
Yes.
On the first attempt, what adjustments did you make to be able to get the arm bar on the second attempt?
On the first attempt, I managed to go belly down with it, so I inverted. So ended up rolling him onto his stomach on it, but he managed to pull his arm loose. So on the second attempt, I just threw my hips straight up in the air. But luckily, he made the mistake of posturing up, which is pretty risky. Generally, if you're defending an armbar, you want to keep them crushed down. So it made it easier for me to throw my hips up in the sky because he kind of stood up, which lets me extend his arm further, which is nasty. It hurts a lot. So I managed to get it the second time round.
I saw that you went over to Australian Top Team and trained with the boys over there. How did you guys squash the beef?
It was never that serious to begin with. It was more of a bit of trash talk online, and I was kind of just using it to find some motivation because the fight before it I'd lost, and it was more a mental thing where I kind of went into too cold. Like I wasn't really fired up for it. So I was kind of went the other extreme for this fight, which seemed to work pretty well. So after the fight, we had a chat and we were fine. He was nothing but respectful afterwards. And to be fair, as soon as the fight was announced, he stopped talking anyway. And the guys at ATT were nothing but welcoming. They were really cool. And I'm hoping that we'll, train together a lot more in the future because there's a lot of talented guys out there.
I saw a little video of you guys sparring at ATT, you and Togo.
Yeah,
and, having a little laugh. It was good to see.
Yeah, as I said, after it's said and done, it's nothing personal. We were just, we get along really well now. I get along well with all the ATT guys, and I wish nothing but the best for them all. But a lot of really talented guys there, and it's good to see that. And it's good to know that I've got some extra sparring partners when I want to go over there if they want to come here.
Now you got Hex Fight Series 17 coming up. You get your first taste of international competition against Zhang. Does this fight have a different feel leading up to it?
Not really. I kind of put the same amount of pressure on myself every time. It's one of those things where I haven't even looked into Zhang that much. Just I know what he's good at. He's a very solid striker and he flows really nicely, really strong hands, good kicks. But it's nothing I haven't really faced before. So it's one of those things where I've got a job to do. I'm just going to go out there and do it. And obviously I'm going to fire up on the day and try and kill him and then I'll shake his hand afterwards. But I don't really care where you're from. I was lucky enough to fight a guy from the Ultimate Fighter China a couple of years back. Very different style of fight. But it's I don't really care where you're from. If you come to fight, I'm going to fight you.
How has training camp been leading up to Hex 17?
Really good, really, really good. I've most of my training partners at the moment are welterweights, so I'm getting ready with real big guys. And the thing about Zhang is it looks like he's coming up from featherweight, or most of his fights have happened at featherweight. I'm assuming that's because he doesn't want to cut a lot of weight with international travel, and that's understandable. I get that, but that's a pretty big risk to take against someone like me because I'm not a small lightweight. Like I'm 6 foot tall, and I'm not skinny fat or anything like that. Fairly large lightweight, so I feel like there's going to be a fair bit of a size difference, and I'm used to sparring with welterweights and middleweights, so it's one of those things where he might be a little faster, but he's not going to hit me as hard.
Strength and conditioning, Viking Performance. Tell me about them.
Okay, so Ben from Viking Performance, he's been training us for a while now, and he's always been from a powerlifting background. The guy's just an athlete, and he's taken a very scientific approach to how he does everything. He's been nice enough to donate his time towards me and a few of the other fighters at Adrenaline. So I go and see him twice a week, and he stays on top of my weight cut and all that. And he's always staying on the edge. He's always progressing with what he's going with. He really does a lot of what he does. Sorry, he bases a lot of what he does off of the UFC Performance Institute and what they're doing over there. So that's been awesome. And it's one of those things where the results he gets is insane. Like, I'll actually lift bigger numbers as I'm losing weight, which is a big difference from my other camps. So I'm the strongest I've ever been by far. I'm slamming middleweights and guys that are walking around at 95 kilos, I'm getting them in the air. So I'm pretty confident that if I can get a hold of Zhang, he's getting airborne.
Looking at Zhang's record, he seems to have a kill or be killed attitude in the cage. Does that play into your style?
I think so. Well, I don't win by decision. It's actually never happened. I've never won by decision, but neither has he. Thing is, he's never lost by decision either. He either finishes or gets finished, and pretty much I'm the same. I mean, I've got one loss by decision, one loss by submission, but it's one of those things where I think that it's going to be a really exciting fight, because how could it possibly go to decision given our track records? I just don't see it happening. So to see what happens. I mean, I don't think I'm a great matchup for him. I think I'm going to be a bit too long and tall. I'm not sure how tall he is, but he doesn't look like the longest guy out there. So it's going to be him charging at me throwing knees up the center. See what happens. See who gets clipped first.
Has there been any word from Hex, the brass at Hex, about the future of the lightweight division, and what are they doing about the title? And, because I'm pretty sure you're concerned with that.
Yeah, I haven't actually had that chat with Trent or any of the guys at Hex at the moment. I'm kind of just happy to keep fighting whoever they keep putting in front of me. Like, this next show is like cross promotion with the KLF guys from China. That's an awesome opportunity for me. As long as I get good opponents, I'm stoked. Having said that, obviously I'd love to go for that title, but I'm not really sure what's the go with that is at the moment, with Callan competing for what's it called?
ACB?
What's that? ACB, that's the one, yeah. For ACB, and I think he's out. He got injured in that last one, so I'm not sure if they're going to take it off him or if he's going to defend it or what the deal is. Who's next in line? Because there's a few of us floating around, so it's kind of like the division's wide open at the moment, which is exciting. And hopefully, I'm up there.
Yeah, Hex has been doing a great job. They have been putting on a show, I think, every month for a few months now, right? And that is a lot of opportunity for the fighters in your area, and especially yourself. What do you expect to accomplish in 2019 looking forward?
I just want to keep fighting good opponents. I don't want to go backwards. I don't want to take any easy fights that just give me. So I want to push myself. I don't really care what happens as far as wins and losses. As long as I'm performing well, I'm stoked. Like, I'm not in this to be undefeated. Obviously, I'm already defeated. Yeah, but I'm just going to keep coming forward. I've never lost twice in a row. I don't think I ever will. It's one of those things where I just want to keep performing really well. I want to keep getting better. And one day I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to kill everyone. It's going to happen.
All right, October 26th, Hex Fight Series 17, Melbourne, Australia. Aiden Aguilera will face Jaicai Zhang. It was good talking to you again, Aiden, and good luck on your fight, man.
Thank you so much for having me again, man. It's an honor.